Do you have any history with hypnosis from your psychology background? In psychology, hypnosis is generally considered a pseudoscience. Do you have any words of encouragement? Nope, just kidding. I think the less stress you have, the easier it'll be to remember the things that you know, and sometimes things that you even don't know that might have actually accessed in your subconscious. Because sometimes we can do that. We can kind of like take in something that we just forgot to take notes on, just audibly, like or verbally, and we don't really like take it down. But sometimes you'll read a question, and it'll be like, I think the answer is this, but I can't confirm it. And then if you just go with the gut and it's like correct, it's like, whoa. And then you do remember it. I don't know, but maybe it's just confirmation bias because you're like, oh my God, I did know that after you find out that you got it right, but it's not. You're just like, oh, whatever. But I think the thing that blocks all access to memories and understanding is stress and anxiety. So the best thing you can do is do something for yourself and try to enter, it's not an environment that's low anxiety. It's anxiety ridden. So the best, I think, as long as you focus on obviously studying first, but make sure you go in, as easy as you possibly could be, relax as much as you possibly can be. I have all the faith in the world for you. Moving the crystal around the stage, I don't know. He's bitch. He's Mr. Bitches. What's his name now? Mr. Bitches, where are you going with my fucking gem? I found out through a website that there are currently 14 people with the surname Bitches. 14 people that are Mr. or Mrs. Bitches. And that's pretty fucking sick. Doggin likes to give shit RNG. Doggin likes to give me shit RNG. Fuck you, Doggin. Fuck you, Doggin. You can say that's bitchin'. It is. Because you're not the first person to ask like who that is. I was driving earlier, but now I'm home. Why is hypnosis a pseudoscience? Wouldn't some say psychology as a whole is pseudoscience? Because no, you can do scientific studies that are empirical that prove causation. And there has never been any proof through scientific methods that hypnosis actually works unless you believe it works initially. It's kind of like chiropractic. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot of scientific evidence to back chiropractic up. But people who want it to work will fucking swear by it. Does that mean it doesn't work? No, it still works, but it's not written off. Hypnosis is a little bit more of a kind of more written off as considered pseudoscience. Pseudoscience literally means kind of a fake science. Not really though. It's because it's real, you can do it and it can work, but there isn't a whole lot of scientific stuff to back it up. It's not even so much placebo effect. It's power of suggestion. So more like you have to be a bit more impressionable for it to work. Absolutely. That was actually like one of the things that I remember in school, them talking about hypnosis. Hypnosis is a real thing, mind control. That is fake pseudoscience. Hypnotic trances are proven to exist, but because each person's experience differs so varied, it's hard to classify. Homeopathy is another kind of widely accepted as pseudoscience. Does that mean it can't work? No, it can absolutely work. Healthy gaslighting. I don't know if it's really gaslighting. We throw around the word gaslighting too much. Hypnotic trances, they're hard to classify because there are a lot of different states that you can be in. Way to gaslight me into thinking I use gaslighting too much. Now you're getting it. That's also not the correct usage of gaslighting. But I was experimenting with hypnotic triggers on myself and a partner, but I was told I'm naturally resistant. Yeah. This means you're not as susceptible to the power of suggestion as other people might be. So what can happen? So say like maybe you're on an airplane and you're trying to sleep, but you can't really sleep. But time seems to kind of go by faster. But you're not sleeping, You're definitely still awake, but it just kind of seems like time is just like not acting normal. Oh my fucking dickhole. Don't even want it anymore. This is your brain going into what's called a zeta state. I think it's an excellent state to be in because it's almost like a waking dream-like state. And me personally, that's what my goal is when I go into a sensory deprivation tank. I'm trying to reach that level of just zeta. Rest mode, yeah. Can you hypnotize yourself to getting a world of... Shut the fuck up. Yeah, Tarantula, you're feisty today. What the fuck? I'm wondering, because we're susceptible to information while we're in subconscious, that suggestions while you're in some kind of a zeta state, or some people might call it a hypnotic trance, could be more powerful, But yeah, and when you're 3+ days into an insomniatic episode, you see shit. Yep, you'll hallucinate. Some people will hallucinate after 2 days. There are some suggestions that go against your personal beliefs or ideals, which can take some suggestions harder for them to work. Some people don't like not being in control, so the thought of them losing control goes against their beliefs. Yeah. Suggestion is just that. It's suggestion. And a lot of it, I think some people might attribute this to, the Big Five personality test has agreeableness. How agreeable you are might be somebody else's how suggestive you are. Like how much you're agreeable to suggestion, right? Insomnia is a good glimpse into the limits of hypnotic shenanigans. Yeah, it's interesting because when you experience insomnia and you can't sleep, your body does reach very hard for any amount of sleep that it can get, My professor was basically, hypnosis is probably dumb and fake, but maybe. That's kind of so think about it this way. And this is why this is why I defend astrology, Astrology, absolute pseudoscience. I know the second I said those words, people checked out, but hear me out. The thing with astrology is, if anything, you can't deny it makes you introspective, which is something that I think a lot of people who would write off astrology naturally probably need a little bit more of in their life. Actually being open to looking into themselves, And the reason why astrology is good at that is because you can fucking read a fucking horoscope out of a newspaper and be like, oh my God, that's me for real. Or you could be like, well, that's not me, which is also helpful. It's also helpful to know what you are not. Proper introspection is dope, for sure. And it's all to say that, we can be up our asses about what's fucking scientifically sound and, rule out all of this shit because we're just like, oh, these are just fucking scammers. But what about the people that it actually does help? So what if it's fucking placebo? So what if it's fucking power of suggestion? The person who is fucked up got better. Isn't that the whole point? Or is the point just to be right? The point's just to be right. Fucking stop being elitist about psychology, medicine, whatever, which is probably rich because I'm probably sound fucking elitist myself. Yeah, if it works for you, fuck yeah. I think the thing is just I don't want to I talk about this in the newest Ninja Brian from NSP had me on his podcast with Leighton. And we actually talked about my theory about Truth, the anti-vape company, and Dare, the anti-drug, company, that, I'm pretty sure I don't know where the resources are on this, so this could be bullshit. Those companies are paid for by smoking companies and vape companies. The idea is that instead of, you can't advertise vaping, you can't advertise cigarettes. What's the next best thing you do? You advertise against it. You put it in their face anyway. These anti-vaping commercials, they have people vaping in them, And what's the best thing to do to get a teenager to do something? Tell them it's wrong. The age group that's the most rebellious, the most suggestive, you tell them something's wrong and they're gonna fucking do it. Yeah, no smoking signs make you think about smoking. We can play Truth or Dare with anti. No, it's just I think it's funny because it's first we had Dare and now we have Truth. What the fuck? Isn't that, I don't know, it's just weird. It's silly. Model the behavior. It's just like Starbucks does this. Starbucks will some Starbuckses will literally tell their baristas to spell the name wrong on purpose, as wrong as they possibly could, so that then somebody makes an Instagram post putting fucking Starbucks out there, which is just free fucking advertising. Why do you think they do all these fucking drinks that are awful but they look good? It's so that people take pictures of them and then spread it through social media. Because people are more likely to buy a product if their friends are pushing it rather than a sponsored post. I don't know. Could be a conspiracy theory, though. Anyway, Bush did 9/11. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams or whatever. Mattress Firm is a fucking drug front, I gotta get to Walmart and buy all the tinfoil. Yeah, do it soon before they realize that tinfoil blocks out all radio waves. How's the stream been? It's been great. This is the first run of the day. I mean, this is a practice run.